That's the truth, man. I got another question, man. I always wanted you to put this video back up. I always wanted to. It's this video you made where you was exposing Tupac Shakur, and you was exposing how, on one hand, like how basically he wasn't as revolutionary as people thought he was.
He was not a revolutionary at all, and I say that unapologetically. I might be one of the only people out here that just did not see Tupac as a revolution. I don't know. I did not see that. Tupac was a capitalist. He was competing capitalistically with Death Row Records.
Yep.
He was a capitalist. He was about money. There's no question. He wanted to take over. Really, he wanted to take over the music industry. His whole issue with New York, the West Coast versus the East Coast, it was a capitalistic rivalry. It was like the dirty South versus the East Coast.
Right.
Who controls the music industry? It was some mafia shit.
Right.
So no, Tupac was not. No, he was not no revolutionary. Now, was he intelligent? Was he articulate? Did he have political consciousness? Yes. Was he a revolutionary? No.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? Cornel West has political consciousness. Cornel West is very intelligent. You follow? But Cornel West is not a revolutionary. We know that Cornel West is about reformation. He's about civil rights. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's about radical democracy. He is not a revolutionary against the system of white supremacy. So, Tupac was not a revolutionary.
Right.
No argument, no question about it. What did he do that was revolutionary? I think Tupac had compassion and he cared for black people, and he wanted to see some change happen in our community. We cannot argue that, like a lot of people do. But that does not qualify him to be a revolutionary. That qualifies him to be a wealthy person in a position, in an influential position, where he at least had the compassion to care about somebody else.
Right.
That's what Tupac really was at the very end of the day.
Right, because I'm tired of people saying how he was about to rescue Black America and he was about to become the first black president. I've heard people say this, and that how the Illuminati killed them because he was exposing them and this and that, and they talk like he was a prophet or like he was like the new Malcolm X or something, and I'm like, he was just a rapper. He was just a gangster rapper. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, what I heard about
he was not even a gangster rapper. He was very foolish because he actually grew up with some consciousness. Right. He was a part of the youth chapter of the Black Panther Party, the original Black Panther Party.
Right.
He saw what his mother went through, but he went to acting school and cultural. He was into the cultural arts. This man did not come up as no gangster. He became a late blooming gangster. He started hanging among them, and he started wanting to really become the actor that he was. He got tired of being fake, and he wanted to go from an actor to being a real gangster.
Right.
And that costed him his life. He could not separate the act of being a rapper, which most rappers can do. They know they're not real gangsters at the end of the day. That's why they put on suits like Jay-Z. You feel me?
Right.
They sit down next to the white boy like Nas. They know at the end of the day they're not real gangsters. They know that. But Tupac had that problem. He had that association problem. He was disassociated. He wanted to try to become the gangster that he portrayed himself to be.
Right.
And that costed him his life. What's revolutionary about that? You promote people selling crack and all that. Your mother was on crack. That should change your perspective. You know what I'm saying? You should get off of that. You should get off of that. You see what capitalism does. You see what that crack, fast money culture is doing to our community. If you're a revolutionary, then you're gonna be 100% away against that.
Right.
There's no right way to continue wrong. Well, we can do wrong for a little while, and then we're gonna use wrong to change it. You can't stab somebody and heal them at the same time. Either you're gonna just take the knife out and let them heal, or you're murdering them right now. And a lot of these so-called rappers and people that get in this system. They say, well, I'm just doing it to get money, you know, and I'll sell this crack and I'm gonna help the youth, or I'm gonna go to Egypt and I'm gonna do this and do that and the other. No, you're killing people right now. You follow?
Right.
So this music killing people. Tupac started an era of music, contributed to an era of music that is killing people.
Exactly. That's
Tupac
exactly how I
wasn't respected for his consciousness. He was respected for his gangster rap, for his murder. I don't give a fuck. You feel me?
Right.
That's why they respected him, for thug life. They didn't respect him for conscious life, for revolutionary life. They respected him for thug life.
And this is my thing.
Lived by that sword and died by that sword. So you can't get mad at the gangster rappers today because they don't represent the socially, political, articulate, poetic things that Tupac said, because they do represent the gangster that he was. They do represent his love for materialism. Am I right?
Right.
He got out of jail, and he became more materialistic than he was when he went in.
Oh, hell yeah.
He went straight to L.A. You know, so I'm tired of the Tupac is a revolutionary. I think that's become that's up there with wearing a Che Guevara shirt.
Hell yeah.
You don't know nothing about socialism. Tupac is just the way you can just, it's like kindergarten depth, politically deep to me.
Right.
You know, you're gonna associate with Tupac. That's like your ticket in right now. If you don't know nothing else, you can say, well, shit, I'll fuck with Tupac.
Right.
You know.
Right. And I'll
that's
tell
what
you
I see people doing.
Right. And I'll tell you my pet peeve, man, is like with Hispanics, how they love Tupac. You know what I'm saying? They just all Tupac. The reason why they like him is, one, because in his last interview, Tupac was saying like how, you know, he's not racist against white people anymore, and at the end of the day, you know, he's all for the upliftment of Armenians and Mexicans and Italians. This is exactly what he said. And I said, okay. And then, so that's one reason they like him. Another thing I noticed about Hispanics, when they listen to him, because they, you know, they love Tupac. They all about, you know, but I noticed they only listen to Tupac when he was all thugged out and everything, because you remember in his first album, he was kind of conscious when you listen to that first album, because he was talking about, you know, killing the police and talking about, you know, like pregnant women and things they got to go through, you know, black women. But I never hear Hispanics bumping that music from his first album. They only bump, you know, Machiavelli, All Eyes on Me, you know, when he was on some gangster, like, or like, you know, just on some like ignorant or materialistic shit. That's what they bump. And I'm like, okay, well, bump the conscious shit too then. Don't just bump when he was all into that negative energy. You know, but they don't, and that's how I know it's some phony shit with that.
Tupac was extremely narcissistic. You know, he was more about him becoming legendary, which he did achieve.
Yep.
More than any revolutionary agenda. He did become legendary, iconic, and I think that's what he wanted. The whole Machiavelli thing, faking his own death. This is what he wanted. He was more interested in that. That was very narcissistic of him, to be able to almost orchestrate his own death to live forever.
Right.
In the minds of the people.
Yep.
He achieved that, but he did not achieve a revolution at all.
Not
and
at all.
people will probably know about Tupac for the next 300,000 years. But if they don't become real revolutionaries, they'll be slaves under knowing about Tupac for another 300,000 years. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
You will be a slave and listening to Tupac. Hopefully you will be more of a revolutionary than Tupac was.
Right.
Was he a stand-up man in certain situations? Unarguably. I can't disgrace that man's, you know, yeah, he stood up. He saw the police doing something wrong to somebody, and he defended them. And that was a manly thing to do. But that don't make you a revolutionary. You follow?
Yeah.
A revolutionary is the entire way that you live your life. From sun up to sun, goddamn it down. You know, you can't be politically conscious over here and be materialistic over there.
Yeah.
You're challenged to be a whole full-fledged revolutionary. You're challenged. And you're not a revolutionary, not looking for no damn record deal.
Hell no.
You know?